Hey guys, Sea Lou coming to you today on day 6 of the distilled water fast. We're going to talk about the coffee enemas, distilled water enemas. First of all, why? Why would like sticking coffee up your butt help anything? Well, it's part of the liver detox. If you take your small bowel, your colon, your stomach, everything filters on through and goes into something called the portal vein, which goes directly to the liver. So the liver, everything flows through it. Your blood gets filtered by your liver, so the less toxins that you have, the better. Well, when you put that into your rectum, all the digestive system and everything that comes back up goes back through that portal vein and helps clean and detox the liver, and so that way you can expel the toxins. So, and we're all filled with tons of toxins in the liver. So the whole idea is to stimulate the liver to go ahead and be able to release those toxins. So that's what I'm doing with the coffee enemas. First of all, you need to use only organic coffee. That's extremely important. Especially you really should do this. I mean, some people do it every single day, but you should, if you're on like what I call the typical American diet of 85% of all the foods in the grocery store you shouldn't consume. You're consuming those, including meats and animal products. You definitely want to do this fairly often. So anyways, what I do is I take a little pan. I go ahead, I put about 3-4 cups of water, distilled water in it. I put 2 good heaping tablespoons of organic coffee in it, and I stir it up real good, let it boil. The second it starts to boil, I turn it all the way down, and I simmer it. I stir it up, and leave it for about 10 minutes. And then about a minute before I'm going to take it off, I go ahead, I stir it again, take it off, put it off to the side, let it cool and settle. Definitely let it settle for like 10 to 15 minutes. A lot of people will go ahead and filter it through a coffee filter. It's really not necessary because you're going to get 99% of the stuff by just pouring it extremely slowly into your enema bucket or whatever you have to pour it in before you go ahead and use it. So anyways, you want to make sure you got at least 4 or 5 cups in there. So it'll help you cool it down too if you go ahead and add like an extra cup and a half when you get done. But make sure you just pour it very slowly and the coffee grounds will stay on the bottom. You go ahead and throw those away. So then you're going to take the end of the tube. You're going to have about 4.5 inches, which is actually going to go inside of your rectum. It's very important when you do this. You want to lay only on the right side of your body and a minimum of 12 minutes holding it in. So from the time everything goes in until the time you're ready to make poopy on the toilet, about 12 minutes. That's optimal. I mean, if you can leave it in longer, leave it in longer. The more you can, the more it helps. Me, I'm kind of a 12-minute girl. Sometimes it's not even 12 minutes. But if you feel like you have to go really, really bad, get up and do it. This is really important, Cole, so it might hurt if you don't. Use organic coconut oil to go ahead and lubricate the tip before you insert it. That's always helpful. And when you clean it after you get done washing it out, and I use hydrogen peroxide that sterilizes it, and it's good to go for the next day. So yeah, that's all real important, but you want to lay on your right side. That's the easiest way. I lay on my right side in kind of like the fetal position, and I'll watch YouTube, or I'll watch something for the next 10, 12, 14, 20 minutes if I'm lucky. And then that should help keep you busy. But the distilled water, you do everything basically the same, but why the distilled water? Well, it goes ahead and it helps. If you're not regulating yourself, I'm just doing it as additional cleansing, but you should do this to help if you have depression, if you have chronic fatigue, if you have any issues that are going on. You definitely want to do this, because if you have irritable bowel syndrome, you have Crohn's, colitis, you have anything like that, even gout, this can help out with the gout too. So you will go ahead and just do the same amount of distilled water. You might be able to get an extra cup or two in there. So go ahead and do that. You can lay on your back with a pillow or, you know, a towel or something with your butt lifted up so it goes ahead through your large intestine fairly well, because it's shaped like a upside down horseshoe. So yeah, you want to go ahead and do that. And then when you have to sit on the toilet, the one thing I didn't mention with the coffee cleanse is you want to make sure that you have some kind of step stool or something that's about 7 inches tall that you can place your feet on. Because when Mr. Crapper invented the toilet, he made it wrong. And our colons were not made to expel poopy that way. So we have to get the colon in the right position. I mean, before then, what do? We squatted. Why did we squat? Because that's a natural position. That's the way we're supposed to poop. Have babies too, but that's another video. Anyways, so and distilled water, you don't want to use tap water, you don't want to use spring water, you don't want to use anything like that, because there's always parts per million of additives and things that you don't want in there, like fluoride, geez, even chemicals and stuff. Pharmaceutical hospitals flush their toilets. All that goes through the water supply and can't possibly be all filtered out. So, you know, it's a good idea to do distilled water, because that is negatively charged. It's the only water that you can drink that has 0 parts per million of anything but water. So that's why we use that, because it's the cleanest, best water for you. So tomorrow I'm going to discuss the things that have been going on since my colonic. And yeah, there's been some really crazy stuff that I haven't read about, that I haven't heard about. I've talked to a couple of people about it, and they're like, yeah, that happened to me too. So just some real strange things, and stuff definitely with the fast too. I mean, boy, this really screws with your head, man. Wow, there is a lot of things that I have been going through mentally and emotionally, not just physically, because we're going to be exhausted when our body's in ketosis, when it's eating itself, basically. But it's also depriving us of, or should I say, depriving our parasites of feeding, so it'll let go and we can get rid of those a little bit more easier, especially when I do, on the 3rd day of the juice fast, when I go ahead and I do the gallbladder cleanse. And I'm going to go into that too, which is going to be great. And geez, think about how healthy you guys are going to be if you just do a couple of these things. But it's okay, I'm not the only information out there. Anything I say, you're more, I would be ecstatic if you would look it up and research it, because being informed is being intelligent, and being intelligent leads to knowledge that helps us take care of ourselves. Don't rely on allopathic medicine. I don't care if you go to somebody that's called a naturalist or an herbalist or, whatever. As long as they're tied to the medical community, we have issues. They're great if you're in an emergency and you need to have open heart surgery or they need to bring you back to life. I wouldn't trade the emergency room for anything in the world. But for optimum health, 0, because they don't treat the problems that you have, they only treat the symptoms. So anyways, this is C. Lou saying good night, and I will talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back on tomorrow, day 7. Oh my god, how crazy is that?